Okay, thanks everybody for joining. I'm going to show you today a very, very basic curry chicken. But the cool thing is, this is essentially what I was doing at the restaurant. We start a chicken curry using very simple components. I've got chicken, all the basic items you're always using when you make an Indian or an African curry, which is onions, ginger, garlic, pepper. That's really it. And then chicken, and then whatever curry powder, dry spice blend you like. And if you look at Soraya's on here, she's a spice master. She can go into this if anybody's got questions. But if you look at curry powders across the board, curries are all very similar. They're, kind of some combination of the same ingredients, but some of them are darker brown, some are more yellow, more red, whatever. For the one today, I wanted to keep it a little bit more golden yellow, just so that at the end of it, we would have a bright color. But it really doesn't matter. Use whatever you have, and then you can always, figure it out later next time you do it. All right, if you're doing chicken, if you can fit all the chicken in there at once, great. If not, do half. You can do a half later when we're done. But I'm gonna go ahead and start browning the chicken. I'm using chicken breast because at the local market here, there seems to be a shortage of chicken thighs lately, and I usually use chicken thighs all the time. But chicken breast into a big heavy pot. I'm gonna get it a little bit brown, and then we basically cook everything in there, all right? So chicken breast is going in first. And I've got it cooking in a little bit of coconut oil.
Hey, Chef.
Because, yes.
Sorry, not, I was going to do a wok, not a wok, a pot.
Yeah,
right?
No, do it in a wok, whatever you got. Yeah, do it in the wok, because since you got 5 pounds, it'll fit in there. So do the whole thing in there, and then when we get the first part done, we'll split it into half. Bueno? Thank you. James, what do you got, buddy? Cooking along? James McCabe, sir, I see you. All right, Reed's family's back on. It basically looks like every weekend. It's just my friends and family anyway, so, it's good. Welcome back. All right, chicken's browning. I'm doing about a half a batch because, I overshot it with the 5 pound thing. But chicken goes in. If you're doing a tofu Beyond Meat, just hold on just a second. We'll get to that. While the chicken is browning, I'm going to show you guys something really cool. So, hey, Reed, I lost the screen, but okay. So if you're normally making, curries, you've got all the things, right? You got the onion, ginger, garlic, whatever. You can either mince it up all small, or what we did at the restaurant, we would make large batches of it in a food processor that was already done. So I'd have a bunch of onions in there, cilantro, as much as you do or don't want. This is just like the basic component that can be for any curry, right? I'm using Fresnos because they're crazy hot, and Reed and Luke like it when our faces burn when we eat afterwards. So I've got that in there. I'm gonna throw some garlic in there, and I'll show you something really cool. And then another version after this, I'll show you one more really fast. So onion, ginger, garlic. I've got a big piece of ginger. Skin is on, since it's gonna get kind of sauteed in with the curry anyway. You don't have to peel all the skin off. It's gonna get super softened up. So if you don't have a food processor, that's okay. Just mince it all up really small, and it'll be lovely. So I want to leave it kind of coarse chunks. So I've got onion, pepper, cilantro, ginger, garlic. And since that doesn't look hot enough, I'm going to throw a jalapeno in here too. And I know this looks a lot like a curry we did a couple weeks ago, but I assure you, it's going to take a little twist. Okay, I'm going to run this just for a sec to grind it up. And I'm gonna show you something else that's super cool. Has anybody made any African curries? Sarai, I know you have. Has anybody else made, that's kind of a big generic term, but yes. African curries, there's a really cool way that they make gravies. So in Indian food, African, the sauce, the curry part, people typically refer to as a gravy. And all of the flavor in that typically comes from onions. So the sweetness, the body, it's all just how long you cook the onion. So that's why when you make curries, go nuts with onions, cook a bunch in there. It's gonna cook down, it gets sweet, it gets, gives it a nice body. It's typically, especially a lot of poor cultures, like where I'm from, the south of India, we don't have a lot of butter and cream and any really expensive things. So what we do have a lot of onions. So we cook down onions to get all the flavor in the body, and then we add everything else. Okay, chicken's browning. I'm gonna grind this real quick. Food processors are fantastic, by the way. Oh man, this is gonna be hot. If you're touching all the peppers, don't do what I do all the time, and then go home and take your contacts out after doing this. So this just out of the food processor. It smells wonderful. It smells like really garlicky and oniony and peppery. Look, so all the work is done, and it looks like that. And you can just kind of brown chicken, and you can make this in giant batches. If for instance, for some reason, you're gonna have just a curry fiesta all weekend and make 18 different curries, you could do that. So chicken is browning. If you're doing tofu or Beyond Meat, sit tight for just a sec. I'm gonna give the chicken a stir. We're halfway there. We're almost done, so I hope nobody's sleeping. Okay, I'm gonna show you one more really cool thing. Okay, chicken is done. I'm gonna add the onion, or chicken is not done, but chicken is almost halfway browned. I'm gonna add the onion, ginger, garlic. I gave you ratios, use whatever you're comfortable with. It's mostly onion, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of ginger, some chilies, right? If you're doing vegan, start now with this going into your pot. You're gonna brown the onion, ginger, garlic mix, okay? So that goes into my pot. If you're doing a vegan, non-chicken one, just get onions, ginger, garlic nice and cooked and translucent. Add a little canola oil, a little coconut oil, whatever you got. I'm gonna add some more coconut oil. I'm gonna show you something really cool. So in a lot of like really home cooking, I've had this in the Bahamas. My Jamaican friends have made this for me. South African friends have made it for, I don't know where it really comes from originally, but to get like a really awesome gravy and a very like not crazy spicy and all that, like a really thick, delicious gravy, here's something awesome that I've seen these cooks do. They take onions, goes into a blender. I'm using my bullet because, you know, bullet. You put all the same things into a blender. I'm gonna put some onions. I'm gonna leave out pepper so it doesn't get too crazy hot. Onions. I'm gonna put some garlic. And, okay, let's just assume that you've got all the curry things you want in your curry, but you want like a really thick, really silky sauce. You would put that in there. And then they pour a little bit of canola oil into there. And that goes into the blender. You make like a really thick paste sauce. And then you cook it into the chicken or whatever. Okay, I'm gonna just do this just so you can see it. So the onion, ginger, garlic mix is browning away on the stove. We haven't added anything else. How's everyone doing? People more or less coming along here? Drinks. So I need
way
drinks.
fast, way fast.
Way fast, I'm slowing down.
Yeah.
So I've got chicken browning. I've got some onions, ginger, garlic in the pot with the chicken. That's all we've done so far. And while that's happening, I'm gonna show you guys this cool thing. So you got, this is just for future reference, just so I can confuse you. A little bit of onions in a blender with some oil. Super cool. Slow down. All right. Sweet. Jody, how's it going over there? Is everybody awake?
We are awake. We're just shuffling around over here.
We hope we're in the right state. Not sure if we're missing stuff.
Wait, what are you missing?
We don't know.
We don't know
Oh,
if
that's
we're
all
missing.
right.
I think we're good.
As long as you got chicken, some curry powder, you're set.
We have chicken, curry powder, a drink. We're good.
Perfect. Check this out. So this is another one, another way to do the start of a curry. This is onions in a blender with some canola oil. You could do that and like put that with chicken all in a pot and just cook it down too. It's fantastic. Cyrus, how's it going over there, dude? Are you cooking? You got a hat on.
I'm cooking. Hey, I got a question. Did we already add the cilantro or no?
You can add a little bit if you want, but right now in mine, I made that mix in the blender that had cilantro. I put everything in the blender together.
Okay.
But the only thing you really need at this point is the chicken browning, a little bit of onion, a little garlic, a little chili powder, or chili peppers. I haven't added any dry spice yet, okay? You guys are just watching me very intently. No cooking's happening over there. Lisa, I don't see any cooking happening.
My chicken's still frozen.
Oh, that's all right. All right, well, Can't have frozen chicken.
I was gonna watch and focus, which is something that's actually hard for me to do, but I'm gonna work on that. And
Oh,
then I
good.
do it afterwards. So
That's how I learned too. Like I watch and then I go home and do it 50 times by myself, and then it all makes sense.
awesome.
And I get a drink in solidarity.
Yeah, all right. Drinks. Who's drinking? All right, everybody's drinking. Good. I know some friends of mine. Let's see. Can't see all the screens, but we kind of had to cap it at like, I think we limited it today at like a total of 20 people on screen because, you know, there's only so many things I can have a, what do we call it? It's a condition that people, yeah, I have that. I got the thing. All right, so everyone's more or less caught up. We got chicken browning, onions, ginger, garlic. If you're not doing chicken, you just have some onions, ginger, garlic browning. And just as an idea for next time, put some onions in a blender with some oil. It's fantastic, okay? All right, so my chicken, and the cool thing, you guys are gonna see, this chicken curry that's starting, can you guys see it? I don't know which camera I'm going to, but check this out. This chicken curry right here, we're gonna split it into two, and it'll all make sense. I swear to you, it'll make sense soon.
What do you mean split the chicken?
Exactly. What do I mean split the chicken? You'll see. Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
I'm already cooking it all.
No, that's all right. Yeah, we're cooking everything right now. You're doing perfectly, sir. Okay, so if you're with me so far, chicken's brown. Is everybody on? Soraya, are you making pasta? What's happening over there? It looks like you got noodles cooking. It's a different class, sir, ma'am. All right. All right, so chicken's cooking. And also you should know, I don't only do curry, right, Reed? I mean, I do other things. I mean, I can do tacos, curry tacos, I do that. We did chili, which also had curry in it. Yeah, good point. We did some pasta recently, it had curry in it, so we're gonna have to come up with a new shtick. So if you have any ideas.
Biju, your fried chicken.
Fried chicken. I made fried chicken today too for the guys, because I had chicken, so I made like a fried chicken with bacon, this avocado mash, made fried chicken sandwiches. Oh, somebody's got the book. Is the fried chicken in there, Lisa? Hey, wait a minute, I've got that book. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. All right. Everybody caught up more or less? Chicken's cooked, browned. If you're doing the vegetarian, don't add the protein yet. Don't add the Beyond Meat. We don't add the tofu or the Beyond Meat until the sauce is completely done, okay? All right. All right, so my chicken is brown. I'm gonna keep moving here. Also, what's everybody doing for the holidays? Anything? Is it holidays yet? Soon. It's almost New Year's Eve, you guys. Everybody. All right. Okay, so if you've got your chicken browning, again, mine has chicken, onions, ginger, garlic. I put cilantro in there. If you didn't do it, no worries. Everything's gonna be fine, Cyrus. We're all gonna be fine. All right, I'm gonna put curry powder. And as you might know, if you've seen me do this before, I put a lot of curry powder in things because, you know, if you've been to an Indian restaurant, there we go, there's a Madras tin. Thank you, Soraya. I used to, there's another Madras tin. Oh man, that ship stuff is awesome. That green tin. Yes, beautiful. You found Madras? So, well done, well done. That green tin, I used to love finding that stuff. That's awesome. I'm pointing at the screen like you can see me, but yes, thank you. I love it. Thank you, guys. Look at this. Everybody went out and got Madras. Perfect. So I'm gonna add the spice. Start with, I put like a 1/4 cup in the recipe. You should add a 1/4 cup. So even if you don't want to, just do it. It'll be great. Because it's gonna do two things. One, it's gonna absorb all the liquid in the sauce and get really thick, which is what you want at this stage. That's where all the flavor comes from. Since again, this is one of those sauces where we're not adding cream, we're not adding butter. There's no other things to give body. So the body comes from layers of charring things or burning things or sticking to the pot. It's all awesomeness, so don't be afraid of that. So I've got the curry powder in there. My stove's a little cool.
Biju.
Yes, Jody.
The chicken is like very liquidy. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine. Just turn the heat up a little bit if it's liquidy. Get it to like a nice medium high so you can hear it sizzle. As soon as the onions are nice and translucent cooked, add the curry powder in. And if it's liquidy, that's fine. It's all going to turn into a curry anyway. That's why I leave the chicken fat on there, because the fat renders down, it just turns into the sauce. Otherwise, especially if you're using chicken breast, otherwise it gets super dry. All right, I'm moving forward. Lisa, can I go? All right, good. All right, curry powder is in here. Hey Luke, can the folks at home see this? You guys. So the liquid, as soon as the curry powder gets stirred up a little bit, liquid kind of gets picked up into that, right? All right, you guys, look at that, it's beautiful. That's why I wanted the Madras curry, because it has more of a yellow golden finish to it right now, versus if you use a garam masala or something else, it gets that really dark brown from anise and cinnamon, but this, we want a nice bright golden color, which will make sense when we add the next step. Okay, if everybody's on board, we got the chicken, the dry spices in there. Don't add tofu yet. That's the very last thing, all right?
Okay.
Now, this is where things get so exciting, you guys. I mean, as exciting as I can make this dish, right? Read, anybody? Yeah. Nobody? Unbelievable.
Ow!
All right. So I don't have a can opener, so we punched this can of coconut milk open with a knife.
Who can say where the road goes?
Like in my college dorm room days. I remember throwing a can of something against the wall until it broke in half. But yeah, so today we
Chef, I'm sure your knives are really happy with you that you busted open a can with them.
Well, we have a can opener specific knife for that, just for the occasion. Because it turns out, all right, so the chicken is cooking. Look at that. I think you guys can see it. It's gorgeous, it's thick. All the things are in there.
Valerie was from Los Angeles.
What? Who's in Los Angeles? Who's the smart ass in Los Angeles? What happened?
Kevin.
Oh, right. That's right. Well, Kevin, thank you for joining. Cyrus has been talking you up for days, so I'm glad you get to experience this with us.
Hi, trust me.
All right, coconut milk is going in, all right? And so just trust me on this. It's gonna turn out great, okay? Coconut milk is going in. If you go to, I use coconut milk. Again, I don't particularly like cooking with dairy, but you can use heavy cream if you want, because it's awesome. The thing with heavy cream, if I put it in there, it would be nap time, like within 5 minutes. And, and I can't do that because I had to fly to Tucson in the morning. All right, so curry, look at this. This pretty much, if you're not seeing it, that's pretty much a curry right there. That's a coconut chicken curry. It's done. I mean, it's not done, but that's all the components. Oh, this thing keeps turning off. So if you can see it, that's a coconut chicken curry. Everything's in there. And we're just gonna let it simmer for a minute. And what I'm gonna do is we're gonna now split this into, I'm gonna take half of it out. We're gonna make the half into a chicken tikka masala.
Ooh.
I know. So I know a lot of you have maybe heard the story. I may have been making it up. It may be true. I don't know. I'm going to go with it's mostly true. But the rumor is that chicken tikka masala comes from back in the day when a lot of the British folk were in India running around. They lived there for a while. They made buildings and trains and railways and stuff. The Indian chefs making them food would make the chicken curry incredibly spicy. And one of the British folk asked, in a very aggressive tone, mind you, can't you cooks make anything that isn't curry or make it less spicy or something? So the rumor is he took a standard issue coconut curry or a chicken curry, added some lovely ketchup and a little bit of yogurt to it. And that's more or less the start of a chicken tikka masala. Because when you get a really good tikka masala, you get this, a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of sourness. You get a little bit, basically you get ketchup. That's the flavor. If you think about it, oh man, now I think about it, it is ketchup. It just, start there, then you make it more spicy, whatever you want to do. All right, I'm going to take half of it out. So the sauce is done. If you're doing tofu, if you're doing Beyond Meat, add it into the liquid now and just let it poach, come up to temperature, and then just taste for salt, okay? Everybody with me?
Yep.
Sweet. All right. Hey, if you're on board, sir, I got to find another pot because I wasn't ready for that. Nobody told me. Nobody told me there was going to be 2 pots involved.
We have a question.
Yes.
We missed how much curry, but I bought this much curry. Is this the amount you want?
Yeah, that looks. How much chicken are you making right now?
Well, we had 5 pounds, but we took some of it out for our for something else. So maybe we're about down
3
to
pounds.
3 pounds.
And how are you? Do you like pretty spicy food typically, or
No,
Medium.
will you taste? Put a little bit on your finger, taste it, see if it's spicy or if it's super salty. Reed, that's your mom. Does she like spicy food?
his dad doesn't.
Oh, your
well,
dad
that's
doesn't?
super spicy. Just one little dip is
Is
very
it super-
spicy.
It is okay. In that case, put like a quarter of it in there.
A quarter of
quarter-
this jar.
Yeah, just put it in there. It'll be great.
Okay. We put all the coconut milk in already. Is that correct?
You did it backwards, but it's going to be fine.
Okay. Goodbye.
It's going to be great. Yes. Yes.
Can we separate even if the chicken's not done yet? I don't think the
Yeah,
chicken's
because we're
done.
still going to keep cooking it. So as long as you got the coconut curry and everything kind of combined in pretty well, and it looks nice and even, you can go to split it because it's still going to keep simmering for a while.
Awesome.
So what I'm going to do is take out about half, but the half that I'm going to take out is going to be less liquidy, just because we're going to add more stuff to this. Okay. So I'm taking half out. Let's just say this is half. Okay, everybody's good with the first one, right? I'm going to take that off the stove. Okay, the coconut curry chicken I pulled off. Voila. Here's another one back. I'm going to add a little bit of ketchup. That's a little bit of ketchup. And then I'm going to add fresh tomato if you want. Add some fresh tomato. And then when you get the color, you kind of look at the color and you're like, oh, I want mine to be whiter. I want it to be pinker. Because some tikka masalas are really light pink. You can add heavy whipping cream or yogurt or coconut milk, whatever you want. And then it's going to take a few minutes for it to simmer and it picks up all the flavor. You'll have one that's a really nice coconut and one will pick up that tomato kind of sweet brininess. I'm going to add a bunch of cilantro into this. And I'm going to throw half a tomato into a blender. If you have tomato sauce, do that. I don't have tomato sauce. So I'm going to put tomatoes in a blender and make tomato sauce. Okay, what was the question? Somebody's pointing at me very aggressively.
Well, I have a question.
Yes.
So I have the tomato. Did the tomatoes not go in the coconut chicken?
I didn't put it in yet, but that's okay if you put it in. It's fine. Did you already put it in?
Didn't yet, but I'm not going to make the tikka. I
Okay.
have the recipe and I did one vegetarian with chickpeas and cauliflower.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. That's great.
Can I put the tomato, split it, and put it in both?
Yeah, so I would, if you can, just put it in a blender first so it's more of a sauce. Because at this point, otherwise you're going to have like really stringy chunks.
Okay.
So just put it in a little blender, make a
Okay.
little sauce out of it.
Okay.
All right, my chicken tikka is bubbling away. I'm going to add some fresh tomato.
Sorry, for the tikka, what are we adding after we divide it into?
Add a little, how much chicken are you working with? Or how much you have in there, you
5
think?
pounds.
Okay, so let's do about half a cup of ketchup into there. All right, then you're gonna give it a nice stir, let it cook for a second, and then taste it. And you'll kind of get an idea of, if you need, depending on the brand of ketchup you're using and the type, some of them are way sweet, some are not. So add about a half a cup, mix it in, see if that gives you a color you want. I personally would add, after mixing it, I'm personally gonna add a little bit more curry powder and stuff, but this is basically it. So now you taste it. If you want it to be more red, more spicy, more salty, whatever, do all the things. Okay. But yeah, add the ketchup now. If you've got a vegan, yes.
So I added the fresh tomatoes, and then I've also got some crushed tomatoes.
Yeah, go ahead, add it all in there.
Okay.
Add it all in and let it cook down.
Chef, how did my chicken look?
Your chicken looks fantastic. It looks edible. Hey, I used to know this guy. He would like literally take one of those things of chicken, or you know the styrofoam trays you get steaks in at the grocery store? He would just take the whole thing, put it in the microwave for like 5 minutes and come out with the burn mark from the price tag. There would be a square burn mark on the steak and he would just eat it sitting at his desk. Like it never dawned on him not to do that.
Just damn chicken
No,
sashimi.
he just eat it off the styrofoam thing. He would just like eat the whole damn thing, just like some sort of Philistine. All right, hold on, I gotta run the, yeah. Who's got a
How many?
question?
How much This is Jody's friend.
Hi, Jody. Jody's friend.
How much crushed tomato do we add?
How much, what are you making, chicken or the vegan one?
We're doing, actually, we doubled it, so we're doing half and half. We're doing one of each.
Okay.
We are doing 5 pounds of chicken, though.
So are you doing a fresh tomato or crushed out of a can?
Crushed out of a can.
Do like 1 cup and then, let it cook for a second, see if that gives you, if the liquidiness makes you happy, if it doesn't add more. But start with like one cup.
Olive one, or is that in the other one?
You can, you can split it between do half and half, and then into the one with ketchup, one without. I know.
Hey,
So
chef.
half a cup in each.
Right. Yogurt I didn't add into anything. I just have it because I kept mine without any dairy. If you want yogurt, you can add it into either, but I personally am not. I'm going to add this later on top of it in the bowl separately, so I'm not cooking it into it. Yes, sir. Who's got a question?
Hey, chef, I don't have a question. I got a comment. Everybody's tasting both of these over there, and they're losing their minds how great it is.
We haven't done anything yet. That sounds like a lie. So, but
I'm telling you, it's great.
But I'll take it. Thank you, sir. I'm easy. What are you doing later? All right, so I'm gonna taste these guys, see if there's any salt. So I haven't added any salt. So salt and sugar and heat is one of those things you gotta kind of be careful with when you use curry powders, because a lot of these have sugar, and depending on the blend and who you're buying it from, there's a lot of sugar and salt added. So you wanna make sure to taste it before you go apeshit at the end of it, adding too much stuff. So I've got the tikka masala one on the stove. When you go to Indian restaurants, sometimes it's really bright red because they take leftover tandoori chicken from the grill, and then they turn this. Oh, look at that. Look at that giant wok full of chicken curry. Yes, Heather, hold on. I can't hear you.
You hear me now?
What was that? Yeah. What was that?
Should I add more tomato? The masala.
So yeah, did you add coconut milk to it?
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, take half of it out, or as much as you want to make a tikka out of, and add a little bit of ketchup and then season that separately. It has everything in there? Okay. Oh, got it. That looks lovely. So what was the question? Sorry, you're going in and out, so. I think it looks great. I can't tell the color, but I think the consistency looks great. Taste it. If you need a little more sweetness, then add a little more ketchup. That's really the only sweet component.
Okay, thank you.
Because, when you get tikka at a restaurant, it tastes like a lie because it's all sugary and sweet. Yes.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's all right. You can.
Can we show you what ours looks like? Because I don't know if we're doing this right.
Yeah, let me see it.
Okay, hold on.
That looks like somebody's arm.
Oh, wait.
Good Lord, look at all these. How many people you got there?
A lot. Are these looking okay?
That looks fantastic.
That was so watery, though. You sure?
Yeah, it'll cook down in a little bit.
Okay.
Is the watery one the chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll cook down, and also just give it a scrape. And if it's super watery and if you're feeling uncomfortable, just take out some of the liquid and just hold on to it in case you need to add it back later. But it's hard to tell from the image if it's super chunky or not, but you can take some of the liquid. Man, that's pretty good. You got like 100 people's worth of food there. So as you get to the point now, so you should be able to taste it now, add a little salt, adjust with everything we've got, adjust up or down, whatever you want. But if it looks like, oh man, I really want more spice ground punch to it, take some of the ground dry spice, which I no longer have. And what you can do is take a little dry spice, roast it in a pan with some oil, and then add it back in. But anyway, just don't add dry spice to water. It just gets bitter and chalky. You want it roasted or toasted or something first, and then you can fold it in. Okay, so everybody taste what you made. Cyrus, I haven't seen you do a single thing, but I see your arm going off screen. Are you making things? Good Lord, look at you making things. Well done, sir. And they look distinctly different. Well done. I did not think this was going to work tonight, so it did. Well done.
Hey, chef, how much salt? Just to taste? Or?
Yeah, to taste. Whatever you like, sir. I get yelled at because I put too much salt, because I like things to have flavor. But I get yelled at by people.
Are we putting cilantro in both dishes?
I typically put the cilantro in the red one, but you can put it in both. I just, it's purely a preference, but whatever you want visually. I've also got scallions. This is a good time to take all the shrubs out of the fridge that you've been saving up, chop it up into, split it into the curries too. So there's no wrong answer. Whose armpit am I looking at? This is like every Zoom call ever, right? Spend looking at hours, looking at somebody's elbow. Okay. Man, look at that. That looks fantastical over there. The Rowleys are cooking up a storm over there. So if you're going to save this, let the chicken completely cool, put it into Ziploc bags or something, and then it'll freeze for a week or two. And then when you reheat it next time, you can always adjust more salt, all that too. Okay, who's got questions? Hey, Reed, I can't see everyone's names. It kind of screen fell off.
Biju, with the curry that's not the tikka,
Yeah.
are we adding anything else to that, or is that kind of just season?
That's pretty much it. So it should just be the dry roasted spices and coconut curry. That's really all that's in there. So now take a taste of it, see if you like the direction it's going. That one I tend to typically leave really kind of mellow and creamy from coconut. And the red one, I typically add, I go nuts with the lemon juice and the salt and all the things just to kind of get it to the memory that I have of a really good tikka somewhere. So the goal here was to give you like 2 very basic curries that you can really dress up and, make it however you wish from here. I personally would add every single chili pepper in the kitchen, plus whatever that is, I go nuts with whatever I have. You guys, you do that too. You should totally go nuts. James McCabe, how's it going there, sir? You good?
Do you want to grade? Here, I think you have to grade.
Dude, that looks beautiful. Look at that, 2 different colors.
Yeah.
That is, oh, look at that. You got a scratch packet there. Thank you, sir. But I love it, man. They look very different, right? That was the key. So I did this at the restaurant where we had to make when we were cranking a year and a half ago, we're doing 1,500 meals a day. And the bulk of that was chicken. I only had one giant tilt skillet. So we started every chicken the same. Then I would take the same chicken. Part of it became chicken vindaloo. Part of it became coconut curry chicken. And part of it became whatever the special we were running. So it all starts exactly the same. Then we would just finish it differently, all within 5 minutes. And this is, look at that. Heather, your chicken is beautiful. Look at that. Very different. Very different. Did I just say that twice? Beautiful and different. Shelly's.
It's not too watery, Chef?
Depending on the chicken you have, it'll cook down a little bit because it's got to cook a little bit. But like I was saying, if it's super watery, just scoop some of the liquid out. Save it in case you want to add it back later. But most of the wateriness is chicken fat. So when it sets up later, it'll get firm as it cools. But, it just depends how you like your curry. Shelly Rowley, what have you got? Oh, man, look at that. Did you know she could make this? Unbelievable.
Chef,
yeah.
Check ours out. That's the tikka masala. This is
the coconut curry. Looks lovely. Kevin,
Right.
add some, if you have chopped cilantro or scallions, definitely go nuts, add it. A little bit of salt, and into the tikka masala, the red, if you have fresh lemons, a little squeeze of lemon juice, something to give it a tiny little bit of acid, if you have it, if you want it. If not, it looks lovely, sir. Take the rest of the night off.
Will do.
Would you add
Soraya, lovely, lovely chicken curry. David, thanks. Chris, thanks for joining us, man. I know you were here last time, or 2 weeks ago you were here with us. Thank you, sir.
Would you add lime juice to the coconut, or?
I typically would add it to the tikka masala, but just because, depending on how mellow you want the lime, I would do on the coconut curry though, if you grate a little bit of lime rind, it's super good in there because you get a really nice floral note, but the lime juice sometimes kind of breaks up the coconut milk. I don't know, it just, it's not quite as bad as dairy, but you can do whatever you want on the other side of that story. Lisa, are you putting curry powder in the scratch bottle? I don't think that's how it works, but you do it.
Well, look, it got damaged.
Oh.
Again, so we need to put it in some sort of container, and I figured, why not?
Well done. You know what? I can tell you that brand of curry powder, every single tin ever has been damaged.
So is that the secret to it being awesome?
I think it's just whatever they do in shipping. I've never seen a can of that wasn't damaged.
Hey, good to know.
I feel better now.
Okay, how's everybody doing? We got any questions? What's happening? I'm gonna have a drink. I'm gonna check flavor on these things real quick. Make sure it's edible.
Hey, Chef, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's a sauce, though. So it's not, I mean, I use the powder, I found the powder itself. But if we were going to use this would be used by itself.
Yeah, if you're using the simmer sauce, that's a Maya Kamal brand, I think. Taste it. It's they use a little bit of cornstarch or some sort of a tapioca starch in it, so it has a really shiny, kind of a glazy finish to it. But if you're going to use a jarred simmer sauce, you would just chop up everything, you know, kind of like making spaghetti sauce. Put everything in there and just bring it to temperature. It's fine. I personally think the way we do it now, when you get to roast a dry spice, you get just a much more flavorful punch. The simmer sauces are fine, but to me, they all just taste like tomato sauce. But then again, you know, I wasn't going to say that I'm a snob, but I am kind of a crazy snob, you know. The simmer sauces are fine, like, you know, but you kind of feel like you need to add something to it. Okay, my tikka masala, you guys, tastes amazing. How's everybody else at home? I can't eat on camera anymore because my hand shakes and I end up getting it all on my shirt. So I'm not allowed to do that per the producers. So I'm just gonna smell it on camera. You guys, that is the best chicken tikka I've had today. Hands down the best. That is actually really good. There's a ton of ginger in there, so I can taste all the ginger. And it's still a little raw, the ginger, so it's gonna cook down a little bit longer. Usually, you know, you don't need it to cook more than 30, 45 minutes. But that's like the perfect amount of time. Jody, how's your 80 gallons of chicken curry?
It's cooking. It's cooking.
So it should be done. Does it taste good?
Yeah, it tastes great.
Okay, good. You can always add more of all the things. That's it. All right, I'm gonna bring the other one back. The tikka masala is fantastic. Everybody agrees here. Everybody here says it's great. I'm gonna switch back. I've only got one stove here, so you know. I've got one stove and no can opener. That's what I'm working with. Okay, I'm gonna try the coconut curry. I'm gonna put it into a fancy plate even. This time I didn't make rice or anything because I figured you guys can figure that out. Reed, what are we doing next time? Do we have a plan yet? Oh yeah, we're up in Aspen next weekend cooking for Jazz Aspen. We're doing food for a bunch of people for a fundraiser. It's gonna be fantastical. And then we're gonna list some classes soon. So here's what my coconut curry looks like. As far as the liquid goes, Luke, can you see this? Sorry. I made a sponge, or I made a splosh. So here's what my coconut curry chicken looks like. It's a little bit on the yellow side. You can tell that the vegetables are in there. They're not all the way cooked down. So as it simmers a little bit longer, it'll get nice and, you know, tender and cooked down. But I basically cooked it for like 10 minutes while we were talking. So there's one. I'm gonna put that here. Man, I got a lot of vegetables here. So on the upside, my nephew house sits for me when I travel, and he eats everything. So it's good to have nephews. It's the point of that story. David, how's it going, bud? Oh, David's been cooking away like a storm over there. James showed me his food a second ago. It's lovely. I'm gonna wash this.
Chef.
Yes.
Hi, this is Erica. I'm not cooking with you guys tonight. I'm gonna cook this a little bit later. But I did want to let you know, the last class we did the chicken wings.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember, I ran to the store while we were cooking.
Yep, I remember.
Okay. Once I finished cooking, they could not get out the fryer fast enough for my family.
Yes, that's it. Well, and then I left out a small key part in that last week, which is let it cool a little before it goes into the fryer. So I'm sure you figure that out. But how good is that? You get it done at home and it cooks in just a few minutes. It's nice and crispy and light and it's perfect. I love it. That's so great to hear. Thank you.
You're definitely welcome. Thank you.
All right, so here's my chicken coconut curry one. I'm gonna put a little tikka in here so we can do a side-by-side comparison. The chicken wings were good. Hey, is there a Super Bowl this year? Does anybody know? Seems like a lot of this is getting canceled. If there is, we'll do some more. All right, here's my two. Mine, it just cooked down. So I used chicken breast because I couldn't get chicken thighs. Can you see these, Luke? All right, chicken thighs typically put out a lot more liquid because there's a lot more chicken fat and the water cooks down. And also chicken thigh is what we used at the restaurant, at the curry shops, because it just stays tender longer, it doesn't dry out. I use chicken breast, which doesn't put out as much liquid. So if you're using chicken thighs at home, you probably got a more watery version than I do. It'll cook down, it's okay. Here's my chicken tikka masala. Here's my coconut curry chicken. And hopefully you guys can see it. Try not to get it. So there's that. Here's your basic curries. From here, add as much stuff as you want until it pleases you. Right? This is all about you, okay? I'm gonna put some peppers on here because that's how I'm gonna please Reed by burning his face off here in a second. All right, who's got questions? I've got to go pack still. I got a flight at 5:30 in the morning, so. Any questions? Nobody? Fantastic.
I have a question.
2 dishes in half an hour.
2 dishes in half an hour. Oh, I mean, you didn't even see the fried chicken we made? We were slow today. We could have done more in a half hour. Are you calling me slow? Is that what's happening? Did you hear this? All right, 2 dishes in a half hour. I love Fresno peppers because they're crazy hot and they're delicious and they're beautiful.
And where do you get those Fresno peppers from there, Chef?
Most grocery stores have it. Let me get one out of the fridge.
Whole Foods, I never see them.
Lisa, where are you, in Colorado?
I'm in Boulder. You know Boulder.
Oh, Boulder. Yeah, King Soopers has it all the time. Whole Foods sometimes has it, but these are kind of a little shriveled up. But
what about the Asian store? The market?
The Asian market has it really cheap. If you go to Pacific Ocean Market over off of 104th, over in Broomfield, they have it. It's super cheap. Go there.
What's like the differentiating thing with the Fresno pepper versus like say a Thai pepper or something else?
So Fresnos and jalapenos, they look about the same, except Fresnos are red.
Okay.
But from what I know, they're not red jalapenos. They're a different pepper altogether. And typically they're much hotter than a jalapeno. And they have much more of a floral, kind of a really beautiful fragrance to it once you get past the fact that it's burning your face. So
love burning my face.
But it's delicious. It's in a good way burning your face. Like it's really delicious and wonderful, and it adds like flavor, not just heat. So I use it a lot because it's red, and I'm easy. So I got Fresnos because I got that with some cilantro on it. That's what I got. And then, well, let's see. Hey, Chris, where are you? Are you here in Colorado? Chris Howard. You are?
Yes.
David, are you here in Colorado?
I have 2 friends on, David and Brian from DC.
Oh, right on. Brian, thank you for joining, sir. David, thanks for joining, sir. James, are you related to Travis McCabe?
We were on the same team for a little bit on Mountain Khakis.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Dude, I remember trying to work with Mountain Khakis way back in the day with Matt Cook, trying to help you guys with some sponsorship way back in the day.
Yeah,
Sweet.
Yeah, that was fun. And then, the bowling family, right?
Yeah, of
Chris,
course. Yeah.
Yeah. So good friends. Yeah. Out here in Denver. So
well, thanks for joining.
Miss your restaurant. Hope you.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Every now and then I get a little sad, but usually it passes. It passes as soon as I think about everything. It's a quick, painful feeling. Deborah, are you still on here? Erica, thanks for joining. Deborah, we didn't hear you make a peep, so hopefully you got some food out of this.
Yeah, I'm here. I just was late. I didn't get the link, so I kind of joined late.
All right, we'll get you set for next time when we'll get you ahead of time. Make sure you got all the information.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Alicia, thanks for joining. Michael, thanks for joining. Wait, who's Run Free? I know that screen name. Who is that? I can't see the picture, but I can't. Why do I? Sorry for related. That's all I got. Everybody good? Was it good? What time is it? Good Lord, we went 15 minutes over. Nobody even noticed. We're having so much fun.
Greatest.
So we're doing Jazz Aspen thing. We're doing a cook along plus a fundraiser for, what does it go to? Like the music programs at schools? Yeah, so Jazz Aspen Music School. We'll be in Aspen in person doing this in somebody else's house next Sunday. I'll be up there, and then I'm doing a cycling camp in Tucson starting tomorrow. So if anybody's in Tucson and wants to come kick the chef's butt going up Mount Lemon, I'll be there. Oh yeah, we have a bunch of stuff coming up with the Colorado State Government, with the GLI, with all sorts of different causes. Global Livingston Institute, November 8th. So we're gonna post a lot of cool stuff. And then we're going to people's houses and cooking. You know, that's all I got. Yeah, well, yeah, it's a lot of information.
Thank you for dinner, Biju.
Thank you everybody for joining. Please, if you have any questions, thoughts, ideas,
Thank you.
you know, thank you.
Biju. Jeff, this was awesome. Love it.
Thank you.
Great.
And I love you, sir. Thank you.
Biju, thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, Jody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.